So, welcome back, students. Today, we will discuss about Module 9 Access Control Models. Here, we will have the topics like what is access control list and what are access control entries, then different access control models used in the enterprise. And chapter 7, we already discussed about ACL, access control entity, then what is system access control list and discretionary access control list. All these things we have discussed in chapter 7. Just watch that videos. And in this chapter, we'll discuss more about mandatory access control, role-based access control, and attribute-based access control. Okay. So different types of access control models are there. First one, discretionary access control model. Okay, so this access control is where the policy defined by the object owner. So the owner will decide to whom he or she should share the file, what permission he or she should give for the other user. That we already discussed in chapter 7. Now we have mandatory access control model. Here the policy is defined by the system. Okay, system enforce this access control. Okay, not the owner, the system will decide. Then role-based access control. Here the access control is based on the role performed by the user. Attribute-based access control means here the access control given to a file for a user based on the subject's characteristics or attributes. We'll discuss these three: mandatory access control, role-based access control, and attribute-based access control in detail. Okay. So here we already discussed about discretionary access control lists in chapter 7. So I'm not discussing again. And going for mandatory access control list. Okay. So it is established by a standard TCSEC. That means Trusted Computer System Evaluation Company. Okay, this is a standard from US. So as per TCSEC, MAC, mandatory access control, means it's a way of restricting access to object based on sensitivity of information contained in object and the formal authorization or clearance of subject to access the information. Example, okay. So here what are the important thing is sensitivity of information in the object and clearance of subject. So here what is that sensitivity of information in the object? That is it a top secret data, that is high secret, highest priority, or is a secret data or confidential data or unclassified, lowest priority data, lowest secure data. This is also called as classification. So an object which contains a file or a folder, it has different sensitivity level or classification. They are top secret data or secret file or confidential file or lowest or not confidential, unclassified file. These objects are accessed by not all the subjects. We allow these objects to be accessed by subjects which have the corresponding authorization or clearance. Because the subject also will have clearance. Clearance means the badge, okay, they also will have secret or top secret or confidential or unclassified subjects. Okay, so it's a way of restricting the access to objects, whether it is top secret data or secret file or confidential file or unclassified or lowest secured file, to the subjects also having that type of clearance like top secret or confidential or unclassified. That's what MAC. Okay. Then same thing here. If an object has a classification of secret, the subject attempting to access the object must have a clearance of secret or top secret. Okay. So whenever a secret data you are going to access means the subject also should have the clearance of secret or just about top secret. Okay. And here the mandatory access control is the most secure access method because it requires both object and subject to have security levels. Okay. Security level means secret data, top secret, confidential. So we need to match. Okay. Subject and object clearance or security labels. Then only we can access the data. That's why MAC is the most secure access control method. Then there are two types of systems in mandatory access control: multi-level security system and multiple single-level security system. Okay, multi-level security system means, see here we have one PC which has three levels of data or different sensitivity data. One is top secret data, another one secret data, another one public data. Okay, or without any security. So whenever we have subjects of different clearance, okay, so we want to map the exact subject for the object. Okay, if subject is having secret information or subject is having secret clearance, he should access secret object or file. Okay, like that. But what about multiple single level? Here we have separate PC. Each PC has, first one has top secret data or object or file. Another one PC has secret data or secret file. Another one has P or public or unsecure data. So there will be no communication between these systems. So each system will be allotted for a particular user based on the clearance level. Okay, this is what multi-level security and multiple single level. Multi-level means in one particular system we have three levels. Each is of different level and that different level of objects assigned to corresponding subject. But in multiple single level means I have a system with only one level, another system with another level. There is no coordination between these systems and the subject will be assigned to corresponding system or object based on the clearance and sensitivity. Okay. Then Bell-LaPadula model. It's a MSL system. Okay. MSL I told you multiple single level. Here confidentiality rules. Confidentiality means keep the information private. Only authorized people can access the data. So confidentiality within US government is established based on this model, the Bell-LaPadula model. Okay. There are three security principles used in Bell-LaPadula model. First one, simple security rule. Second one, property rule. Third one, strong property rule. Okay. So simple security rule means a subject cannot read an object that maintains high security level. There is no reader. Example here, a simple security rule example is user is Bob. He has the clearance secret. Okay. And the object is document nuclear launch codes.txt. Classification is top secret. See, the user has only secret, but document has more priority or more importance, that is top secret data. So what is the result? Based on this rule, no read up. The user with secret clearance cannot access the object which is top secret. That's why Bob once click the file, system says access denied because you cannot read up. You are in low level, mister. The subject of the Bob is in low level, secret level, but the document is in little bit high level, top secret. So you cannot access. Read up, Mafi. Then property rule. What is property rule? The subject cannot write to an object that maintains a lower security level. Okay. Example. The property is no write down. Okay. User is Alice. His clearance is top secret. And the document or object is quarterly budget document. Its classification is secret. You know, user is in high level, top secret. Classification is the document is in low level, secret. When Alice tries to save her top secret note into secret file. Now see the irony, see the difference. Alice has top secret priority and she want to save her top secret notes into secret file. See, now the top secret has more priority than secret. So what happened? The system pops up write denied. You cannot write down because your data, you are in top secret position. You cannot write your data into a secret file because top secret has high priority, secret has low priority. You cannot go down. That's why it is not allowed. That is like property rule. Strong property rule means a subject can read or write to an object only if object classification and subject clearance match exactly. Exactly. Okay. See here, the user is Tom. Clearance is secret. Okay. So the file, there are two files. File A, personal roster, which is classification secret. File B is launch code, which is classification top secret. So result, Tom can open or edit the file A because clearance is also secret. File A also secret. But Tom cannot open the file B because file B is top secret. So secret user clearance cannot open top secret file. That's why they are not in the same level. One user is in secret clearance, the file B is in top secret. So we cannot move up. That is, you should be same level. That's why you cannot open the file. That's what Bell-LaPadula model states. Okay. If you don't understand this theory, at least remember these scenarios. Okay. So simple security rule is no read up. The user's clearance is say lower than the object classification means you cannot read. Okay. Property rule means no write down. The user is in high clearance level. Document is in low classification level. So you cannot write a file. Strong property rule means both user clearance and object classification should be in the same level. Same level. Okay. Secret, secret. Top secret, top secret. Clear what I'm telling? Yes. The same thing, they put a diagram. Now, role-based access control. Here, the access control is based on the role assigned for the subject or user. Okay. So, the objects can be granted to a subject based on the role assigned in the organization. Okay. See here. Example, user is Alice. His role is HR manager. And the permission is read and update employee records. Okay. So I am Alice, not me, one lady. Okay. Maybe some ladies. Okay. So maybe say Shafat. Okay. She has the role HR manager. The permission is read and update the employee records. So what the action done by administrator? He will assign Alice as HR manager. And what Alice can do? She can read and update employee records. Okay, you know, HR manager means human resource manager. What he will do? He will deal with the records of employees, right? He will read the employee details. They want to update the details of employees, address or passport number or pagata number, salary, all these things. Okay, updation done by HR manager. So this is what role-based access control. Everyone can access a particular object, but only based on the role they play. You cannot access all the objects. Based on your role you play in the company, you can access the object. Okay. Now, three aspects taken under consideration when we are using RPAC system. Okay. First one is role assignment. Second one is role authorization. Third one, transaction authorization. Okay, I put some examples also. So here role assignment means all the active users in the system will get an active role. Okay, all active users will be assigned an active role. Nobody will be there without any role. In our college also, every employee has a role to play. Teacher has a role to play, like teaching. Which one? Supervising, like that. HOD, she has a role. Administration, she also teach. She manage the problems in the department. HOS, they also have role. Everyone, dean, everyone has a role to play. Okay. Second, see, Kevin is assigned HR role. So he can perform actions related to HR. Role authorization. So when you are assigned a role, you are authorized for particular duties. Okay, you are authorized. You are allowed to do some jobs. Okay, you have the permission, authority. So user can take the roles that are authorized. Example: HR manager can do only HR works. Manager cannot go and do financial jobs, right? So HR manager is been authorized to do some role job that is HR related job. Recruitment, updating salary details, updating employee details, visa details, like that. Transaction authorization. A subject execute a transaction only if transaction is authorized. Okay. Example, HR manager can update only salary details. He cannot reboot the server. That is a job done by ETC, technical teams. Okay, technical team. This is what three things coming under a role-based access control system. Role assignment, assign role for all the users. Role authorization. Once a role is assigned, you are authorized to perform a task. Okay. Transaction authorization. Whenever you do transaction, it should be authorized. Example, HR manager can update only salary. You cannot go and update or reboot the server. Okay. Same example they mentioned here. Kevin role is finance, assume. Okay. So even though he is working in finance, he will not be given the full access to financial data. If I give all the access, all the data he can access, means once he is leaving the company, he may cause some damage to the company. He may get some leak some financial information. So no user will be given full control. Okay. And to avoid fraud, at least two people are required to perform a critical task. So if one person leaves, we can depend other person. Okay. Just an example. But here we need to be focused on three things in RBAC system: role-based access control system, role assignment. Every active user will have a role. Role authorization. Whenever you assign a role, you have some authority to perform a task. Transaction authorization can execute only the transaction which is authorized for the subject. Example also mentioned. Okay. Last one, attribute-based access control. Here, the object is allowed to access for a subject based on the attributes, features, characteristics. Okay. Here the access is granted for a subject based on attributes. Okay. Example. See, SIMS, okay. CIMS, the teachers can access only if they are in Oman. Okay. The attribute is the location where the teacher is currently now. Okay. So that's why sometime back, okay, when the teacher want to update something in SIMS, when we want to update the marks in SIMS, you must be in Oman. If you are going to Kerala, if you go to India, if you go to Tamil Nadu, Chennai, wherever, okay, you cannot update the mark list in SIMS because the subject is user, the teacher. The object is file inside SIMS, mark list in SIMS. But every subject cannot update the file in SIMS because there is a condition. The attribute should be, the subject should be in Oman. Okay. So every subject cannot access the object because subject must satisfy some attribute. One example is location of the subject is one attribute. If you want to update anything in SIMS, the teacher, that's the user or subject, should be or must be in Oman. That's what attribute-based access control means. Okay. Access a system available only to resident of a particular town, or here resident of a country. The subject may have to enter an address within the town. So whenever your address is in Oman, say IP address is in Oman, then only they will allow you to enter the data in the SIMS portal because the subject should have location attribute. Okay. This is what coming under chapter, I think module 9. Hope you understood.